Okay, so back on the about to drive off now. I mounted my camera to the POV view setting. So I didn't. Okay, I mentioned before this is a 6-speed manual. Before originally was automatic. I've listed out things I want to talk about while I'm driving. I just hope I don't forget, because I don't want to forget. Some of these things are important, considering questions people are always asking about 407 Coupe. So I'll mention the annoyances, the smiles, Yes, unapologetically, I covered the speedometer, because there are a lot of busybodies online. People are looking for what to criticize, what to lament. So whenever I'm doing this kind of video, I just block it. Even if I'm doing 10 kilometers per hour, I don't care. I don't want you to. I don't need to prove to you anything. So let's see. Okay. Of course, originally this didn't come with this. It actually came with the RT3 radio telephone system. But when the display started having issues, and I just decided to swap in this what's it called, Android display. So I've done video on this. So I'll try to keep the AC blower speed that low, so that you guys can be able to hear me. Okay, so what do I okay, let me start with the annoyances of the 407 Coupe. So when I talk about annoyances, I'm no longer regarding to only mine. I'm using generally all the 407 Coupe I've driven: automatic, manual, 4-cylinder, V6, whichever one. Because even before I bought mine, I've been driving a Coupe. People give me to repair and the rest. So drive after, and in fact, the first one that inspired me to get this car, get my own Coupe, was a 407 V6 Coupe manual. Funny enough, after then I've not seen that car. I hope that car is still alive because I've not heard from the person. Anyway, so the annoyance, the first annoyance. So let me start, get my papers. Okay, one thing about this 407 Coupe V6 is the shock absorbers. It's an annoyance in a way. Not the work of the shock absorber, no. It's when it comes to replacement. Yes, it can be very annoying. It's very good, but then getting another one, it's not even easily available. In fact, the one you can probably get after you must have gone to hell to find is that of Saloon V6 shock absorbers, both the front and the rear, because this shock absorber is different from the normal 407 shock absorbers. That's for the 4-cylinder. This one is we call it piloted shock absorbers, or variable shock absorbers, or also known as AMVAR, AMVAR. So what I realized was, or observed was, even when it comes to sourcing for used ones, of course new one, that's the one I was referring to, that is very hard to get. Now when it even comes to searching for used ones, you hardly see the one for Coupe. Talking about V6 Coupe, all you'll be seeing is the Saloon V6 shock absorbers. Same function, same variable, same piloted, same AMVAR, but they are not identical, especially the rear ones. Now the front shock absorbers are the same, but the rear ones are not. So, and the rear ones, because the springs are shorter, So, and the springs are independent, are not independent of the shock absorber itself. So they are one unit. So you can't separate it. So I made the attempt before, even before I got the car, to see how can one easily, because eventually shock absorber will wear out and fail. It doesn't matter how good. The best you can do is to avoid bad roads as much as possible, but eventually it will wear out, you know. So I couldn't find. So that's one of the annoyances. In fact, like in this case, I had to swap in or convert this particular one to the 4-cylinder ohms, and because of that I've lost the actual performance of the suspension. It's still there, being a coupe, you know, the lower ground clearance, the way the other parts of the suspensions were designed, yeah, you still get all that, you know. But then, man, the other day I was driving that of that 4.7 coupe V6 automatic that I did some repairs on recently twice. I mean, that one still has its V6 automatic, the V6 suspensions, yeah, the shock absorbers, and I mean the difference was very, very clear to me. Was as in I enjoyed the drive in terms of performance more than this, you know. Even though this one, everything is now okay, but then because of that this thing, so the suspension is the shock absorber now just behaves just like a 4-cylinder shock absorber. So it kind of made the decision that in future, if I ever come across another good one, even if it's used, I could risk it, try to see if I can swap it, and if it works, then I'll keep the 4-cylinder on, in case in future later on you can't find this used one, good one again, V6 one again, I'll swap back the 4-cylinder, you know. So that's one annoyance of oil. So if you are interested in owning this car, understand that, especially unless it's a 4-cylinder or it's a V6, as soon as the one on the car fails, or if you get it has failed already, you're not gonna find it easy getting another one, especially the rear one. The new ones, the shock absorber is basically the same with 4-cylinder, you know, the saloon V6. So even if you don't find new one, you can get a used one. Unfortunate thing is you can't tell from the appearance when if the V6 shock absorber is good or not until you mount it. You could say, but it's not leaking. Yeah, it didn't leak. It doesn't mean it's working. You know, until you mount it, that's why you know if it works or not. I mean, I've been changing it for people and their and their saloon V6, and even though it will be better than the one they removed, but if like all this warning about the shock absorbers will remain. You know, because the one you put also has its own issue. Only that it's just better than the one you remove. Sometimes basically the same. So kind of that's why I got discouraged to go the route of getting a used one. So unless you can find a new one, even if it's aftermarket, let me put it this way: if I can find a new viable shock absorber for this car, even if it's not OEM, I will buy it. I will. You know, no matter how short or long it will serve, I don't care. You know, just need to experience that. It's a sports car per se, not a hardcore sports car, but it was designed for sports. So if you are type that drive for sports car, you understand there's a way their suspensions are. Now another annoyance I have with this coupe is the engine. Let me focus on the V6 now. Now this car is very heavy. No, it's very, very heavy. It's a heavy car. And so for me, the power, the car is supposed to have more power or have commensurate power to the weight, but it doesn't. That's my issue, one of my big issues with the car. Now you might be saying, oh, is it not V6? Yeah, it is. But remember that this is the same V6 in 406, which is much lighter. 406, let's put it this way. 406 saloon is 1,400 and is it 450 kg. That's for the manual. But this one is about 1,000. Is it 800 and something kg or so? Can't remember, something like that. So more like additional, is it 300 or 400 kg or thereabout? I mean, this is a heavy car. So imagine how quick it is. Same engine, similar power. No, I'm not saying identical, but it's basically same engine, similar power, and so when you drive a 406, because it's much lighter, you can tell it's going to be much quicker than this one that has almost additional how many kg. So you can see why I find it annoying. So this car is supposed to, Peugeot is supposed to have made it have more power, than the predecessor. I mean, it's newer, so why make it give it the same power? So I don't understand Peugeot. But it's quick, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know I've done it. It's actually 8.4 or thereabouts acceleration car, which I've done on this one and got the same result. In fact, it's as if I did better than the factory acceleration, which is, I think factory is about 8.5 or 8.6 seconds per 100 kilometers, and this one I got when I did it, I got 8.2 or so. So you can actually achieve more than the factory, So okay, one more thing. What else do I have issue with? Now the suspension repair cost. This one I won't waste much time there, because if you've been following my video on 407, you know that, you understand that I always say 407 repair cost is very high. I'm not saying once any small thing that fails there you spend money. No, what I mean is, let's assume everything on your front end of your shock absorber, your suspension is bad. You spend like 3 or 4 times of what you would have spent on your 406 coupe to replace than on this one. So that's the point. So this one comes, I will take you more. So what it means is you have to be very careful how you drive on rough road, because if you are not, especially when you don't speed on rough road, they last longer. All these suspension components, unlike people that drive very rough. However, it's actually durable in a way, because remember before I did a trip with this car a few months ago, I did some repairs on the suspension. On my way, the suspension basically failed, as I had started hearing a lot of noise and the rest. So my thinking there was, basically even everything I replaced before I entered that journey has failed again. So, but funny enough, when I came back and pieces the entire suspension, to my surprising, all the components I replaced before I traveled, all of them were intact. So the ones that failed were actually the ones I didn't replace before I embarked on the journey. So meaning, yeah, at that time I did the repair before the journey. Those other ones, they have not failed, or they have not become obvious that they were bad, but they're already weak. So what happened was they gave up in the journey because the road was very, very horrible. So my point is not me that, we put it today, tomorrow it will fail. No, but just that they have more components, suspension components, than the cool 406. So meaning that if you have to replace everything, then it will cost you more. So that is it. So you have to be somebody that values his vehicle to be able to own and enjoy this car without spending fortune in keeping the suspension in good condition. Now another annoyance I have with this car is the passenger seat. This seat you are looking at. Now for the electric seats, I don't know, like I said, I'm not sure all 407 coupe comes with electric seats, the 2 front seats. But this one, I've observed that most times, almost all the coupe with this electric seat, sometimes the passenger seat will start moving on its own. As I'm driving now, nobody is sitting here, right? Because all of a sudden you could hear the seat moving on its own. It will just come up a little, just a little and stop. So even before I got my own car, I saw people complaining about it online and the rest. So it's not a non-issue. So it's not like, in fact, if you scan the seat, because it has an ECU, you can scan, it won't like tell you, oh, this is the fault. So it's as if the ECU all of a sudden, well, maybe it's a fault, just that maybe nobody has figured it out. Me, I'm not bothered anyway. Just as when it does that, later I can return it back. But it doesn't happen when somebody is sitting on it. It's only when there's no, you know, if you are sitting on it, the seat belt will indicate, you know, there's a load on it. So in that case, it won't happen. So in that, if you have the option of getting one with manual seats, maybe better for you. Only that you no longer have the manual memory where you can memorize the seat, you know. So for the driver, so that's just I find it annoying, but it's not like a big deal for me. I mean, it would have been a big deal if it happens when somebody is on it. So okay, that is one thing. Then another annoyance is the headlight. The headlight is very poor. Even though this one is even xenon headlights, still the same thing. 407 headlights are very poor in terms of visibility at night, so it's not the best. But people have tried so many ways, put on HID light, put this one, put that one, you know. I've thought about it. I think I did a video on that. So but just pointing it out, it's not the best car to do long journey with, especially at night. You can travel with it, but try and avoid night journey with this car, especially. It's not, doesn't have a good, the headlight, the 4.6 own is like, that's the successor. The predecessor headlight is like 3 times better than this one, or 4 times. It's way ahead. I mean, it's as if it wasn't even produced by the same people or brand. So that's an annoyance. I find it very annoying. Very, very annoying. You know. Okay, that is one. Now let's talk about 407 AC. It's always, not everybody knows about this. Now 407 AC is just here and there. I don't know how to put it. There's a 407 you could enter. You'll be wondering, are you sure this car is not 406 with a 407 badge? The AC will be good. I won't say as good as 406, but nothing to complain about. It chills well. However, there are some you will enter, you'll be like, man, this is 1 hour into the journey or the drive, and yet we are all sweating like he-goats. Are you sure your AC is on? Yeah, to pull your windows up. That's what I'm talking about. So 407 AC, it kind of, I don't know. Let me put it this way. Yes, there are some are better than the others. But what I could say is, it's a car that before you start feeling the AC, you have to take off, drive for as in when you move, drive off, take few minutes or so before you can actually feel the chillness. Unlike the predecessor 406, that as you are putting it on, the breeze is already, cold breeze is already, I mean, chilling and the rest. But like I said, some 407, you enter, be like, wow, what's the point? Then what's the difference, you know? What thing I can say, I've experienced it with this mine. You know, there was a time he had a leakage on the compressor. I didn't know it was the cause. When I was traveling, remember when I was in a journey, I felt, by the time I came back, I took it to somebody, and I realized there was a seal on the compressor that failed. But what I noticed was before that twice. I'll go and fill in gas. It will just be chilling the way the normal 407 AC chills. Not so good, not so good. But as soon as it starts showing sign that the AC gas is low, the chilling will be almost or close to 406. I don't understand why. It's as if they designed the system to use just very little AC gas. So when you go and put in quantity of gas like you do in 406, it won't chill as cold as the 406. That's where I'm coming from. That's where I'm coming from. I know there's one book I looked at. I don't know I think it was from Peugeot. The recommended quantity of AC freon or gas in 407 system says about 600 and something grams. But you know, 406, everybody put almost 800 grams or so, and nothing happens. You know, just get it to 40 psi. But it seems truly 407. If you go beyond that recommended quantity of gas in the system, then the compressor will no longer chill, make the AC chill well, the entire system. So that could be something. In fact, last time I put the gas, of course, there's no more leakage. I'm even considering to see if I'll go and reduce the gas. I don't have that meter to know, you know, unless I use my system to reduce the quantity of AC gas in the system, see if it will start chilling better. Right now, I'm feeling okay, it's chilling well. But before, when I first set out, of course, I wasn't feeling it that much. Some car, for example, there was a 407. There's a 407 I would drive. I mean, immediately you start feeling the coldness. So it's not a car you buy and expect it to serve you like a 406 in terms of air conditioning system. No. If you are lucky, you might get one that will be that good. But the only unfortunate thing is, if you ever have a problem with your AC and you repair it, it might, I'm not saying it will, it may end up not chilling as good as it was back then. That's my point, you know. Okay, then another one, the very annoying part of 407 Coupe V6 is AMC's gearbox. For me, it's AMC's gearbox. So V6 or 407 Coupe, they all, not all, they have option. 6-speed manual gearbox, 6-speed automatic gearbox. So one is AMC. So the AMC's, one of the annoying part of it is very unpredictable gearbox. Very, very unpredictable. And funny enough, it's not a fault. How do I mean unpredictable? You want to downshift. Maybe you are driving the way I'm driving now. Then suddenly you want to downshift to overtake or just kick in these things. You know, like right now I'm barely accelerating. You now press the throttle down. Normally if you're on gear 4 or gear 5 at that time, remember it's 6-speed gearbox. It's supposed to downshift to maybe like 3-speed, the third gear, and then pick up. It will not. It will just remain at that gear 5 or gear 6 and be dragging. Even if you press your leg to the floor, it won't just zoom out immediately. It will just be dragging and increasing speed gradually. And in that case, you see you are just burning and wasting fuel. Peugeot says it's normal. They even put it on the user manual that you should expect it. So sometimes that it could happen. So it's as if either they program it to behave that way, or they just don't know how to. That's the program and this thing that they don't know how. They just decide to warn people about. Now it's not only the AMCs that behave this way. Even ATC does that. But ATC is much better. It doesn't happen the way it happens on AMCs. AL4 does it too. 4HP20s, that's ZL4HP20 does it too. So it's one of the reasons why I converted this car to manual. It's as simple as that. I don't hide it. I always tell you, it's one of the reasons. Yeah, when I got this car, I used it for a month or two. The gearbox failed, and that's the AMCs. It came with AMCs. It failed. Of course, the cheapest and the easiest thing for me to have done was to go and get another gearbox, AMC's gearbox and mount. cheapest way of going about it. For example, at that time, the AMC's gearbox, I think you finally used one was about 90,000 naira or so. But I said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Because even when I bought this car, I was like, okay, maybe I could use it for a year, 2 years. Then I converted to manual. Originally it was manual that I wanted, but when this one came up, I said, okay, I won't die to drive automatic after I've driven one before. So immediately I started working towards the conversion. I parked the vehicle. I didn't even bother. I parked it, and I ended up spending close to 400,000 naira. Okay, look at it, 90,000 against about 300 to 400,000 to do the car. That's why I'm saying, okay, I'm not sure it was up to maybe about 200 and something to 300,000. I think around 300. You could just say give and take 300,000 naira. So I want people to understand, it's not just because, oh, the gearbox failed, that's why I went and converted to manual. No, it cost me almost 3 times of by getting another gearbox to put. So it was that annoying part of the AMC. I just don't want it. I couldn't live with it. I used it before I did it on my Z9. So this one started as no, fuck that. I can't. You didn't even want me to enjoy it up to a year. You packed up. Bye. I mean, as in, so you can understand. So it's an annoying part. So if you are getting it, expect. But if you are already used to automatic, it's not an issue. I'm a manual person. I'm a stick person. So yeah, it's an issue to me. If you use AL4, 4HP20, AT6, don't bother. You won't even understand what I'm saying. You won't even feel it because you won't know it's there. But someone like me, I always want, for example, you see what I'm talking about? I can't do it on the AMCs. I can't. You downshift for you to pick. You just be fuck that. As in, no, I just couldn't. So that's what I'm saying now. But if you are the type that you have that patience, hey, knock yourself out. So sometimes he behaves. He wants to do it to downshift. Sometimes, like I said, Peugeot said it in the user manual. Expect it, and don't feel it's normal. That's the way they do the gearbox. But it's not for me. So that's an annoyance. I think let's just do one annoyance again. Now switch to the positive. I'm going to, once I'm done with this thing, I'll cut the video and do the positive. So I'll break it so it doesn't take too long. Now, one annoying part. This cut across automatic or manual is, but people that drive 407 V6 understand this. The throttle response at low RPM is quite annoying. It is. You realize that when you press the throttle, I don't know how to put it. It doesn't. You press it down, no response. Press it down, no response. You keep going down, then suddenly the RPM will climb up, or engine will respond to what you are doing on the throttle pedal. It's a V6 car for crying out loud. Now, another thing I need to point out. Now, 406 does it. 406 V6 that I love so much, everybody is loved so much. Yes. See, this is factory. This is how Peugeot did it. But the only thing is that the 406 own, Peugeot now put an option. If you don't like it, you adjust it out. Those of us who are technical enough who know where we do it, we adjust it on, what's it called? I think I've been on this speed lane for a while. Let me just, since I'm not into speed yet. So, you have the option. I remember when I first got my 406 V6 manual. It sucked. Honestly, I was like, come on. How many more than 200 horsepower? Why does this car drive like that, you have to take some rev to get something out of it. Until I went to the throttle position, accelerator position sensor. It's in the engine bay, and I saw that it has an adjustment. The factory one is normal, but it has an adjustment. So if you want that, if you want the car to speed up like mad, like rocket, even just by a small touch on, even without pressing it down, all you need to do is just to press your leg on the throttle pedal and zoom, picks up like mad. All you need to do is go there and adjust that factory setting out. I don't need to explain how to do it here. It's very easy. If you don't, meet your mechanic, will explain it to you. So that's the advantage 406 V6 has, the same engine, which this one doesn't have, because this one does not have that accelerator pedal position sensor on the engine bay, which is independent of the throttle pedal. So this one, the throttle pedal is also the accelerator position sensor. Unlike the 406, the throttle pedal is separate. There's no electronic control attached on it. While this one, everything is here, so you can't adjust it. It's not like you can program it, so it's actually inside the throttle. So it's kind of very annoying. So, well, there's a solution how to deal with it, but you may have to go aftermarket. There's something we call pedal commander. So, that pedal commander, once you put it, to take care of it. So, they have to buy. I'm not sure they're available in Nigeria. The pedal commander, what you do is just remove that annoying factory this thing and make it much more responsive. As in, see, don't get me wrong, it's not going to increase the horsepower. For 407 this thing, people who use it understand. The horsepower is there, you get it. Only that you have to now, it takes some rev. You have to keep pressing your throttle pedal down until you now get that power, both the torque and every other thing. But the pedal commander, it has some name, it has few other names they call it, depending on the brand. That one will now eliminate that delay or that slow response to acceleration. As you are you just start behaving like 406 own. As you are touching it, boom, it's taking off, you know. So, as I was even thinking, should I try, because I have another pedal, first, yeah, accelerator pedal. Oh, this thing is off. I'll deal with it later. I also have another accelerator pedal, that of EW12J4 manual. Because for the V6, both the automatic and the manual throttle pedal is the same, no difference. So I'm considering it, but for the 407 EW12, that of the manual throttle pedal is different from that of the automatic. So maybe that of the automatic. I'm trying to remember how they react. I'm driven quite a number of the 407 E12 manual, and they're kind of fun, very fun in terms of response to acceleration. So probably I might try it, see what happens. I have one, it's just I'm not be able to get myself to do the swap. Or I'll just wait when depend. If I could try it before and I decide to get the pedal commander. So there's a solution to it, but by factory, it's not that encouraging at all. Okay, so I'm going to end the negative here and then do the positive.